Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 4 rounds of boxing scheduled in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an official 165 pounds. This is his professional debut fight from Choctaw, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Coughran. And his opponent from across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at an official 164 pounds. This is his professional debut fight from Mogi, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, Vincent Cato. We go to Gerald Ritter for your instructions.
Well, Darren, both these guys look to be in really good shape. And you can tell just from their builds, I'm suspecting we're going to see some very different styles between these two fighters.
Sure. From the looks, I expect Cato to try to keep, expect Cato to keep Coughran off, towards the end of his jab and work him that way, where it looks like Coughran's going to run in and right.
All right, well, we'll see. Here we go. Round one. Vincent Cato versus J.R. Coughran, both making pro debuts in the ring here at Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Looks like both of them are bringing some heavy leather here at first.
Really are looking to make a statement in the opening seconds of their very first pro bout. Coughran, you can see, no stranger to combat sports. He has the ears of a wrestler.
Yes, he does. You see boxers with that here sometimes too. So
yeah, not as much as you used to. Not like the good old days.
Right.
When guys knew how to rip their ears apart. Oh, sneaky left hook as he jabbed his way inside. Coughran showing pretty impressive hand and foot movement so far, and he's I've already noticed he's falling into a bit of an MMA strategy where he's switching up right hand and southpaw.
Yes, he is.
As they change position in the ring. Nice right hand to the body by Cato, leading in on that exchange.
Some good left hooks there by Coughran. Looks like he's certainly not scared to bring the fight to Cato.
I think Cato got tagged on the chin by that overhand right. He looked like he was rattled, but seems to be holding on pretty well. Well, not literally holding on, but certainly wasn't as shaken as I thought he was.
Good left hook to the body there by Coughran. Right. I like what he's doing. He's trying to get inside, work the body, and then come back up to the head.
Coughran's very aggressive, definitely setting the pace in this fight. What would you be telling Cato to do to take advantage of his height?
I'd use that reach advantage. Keep him on the outside, work your 1-2, double up on that jab, and just stay outside.
Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
Good jab.
Yep, and you wouldn't think so, but Coughran's landing a really good jab. He's out there working away.
He is, and if he doesn't land the first one, he's throwing 2-3 in a row so that either the last jab lands or he's able to throw a right hand, or at the beginning of the round, a very sneaky left hook as he works his way inside. Not a lot of lateral movement from Vincent Cato as we would have expected.
Stop, break.
Right, I think he's trying to make this into a fight, which I think he'd be better served to box, to use the skills here.
He's a strong guy. I'm sure he's nervous making his pro debut. All fighters are. But with his extensive amateur background, he's certainly unlikely to see anything he hasn't seen before, especially from a guy whose discipline really is MMA, and doing it all stand-up tonight.
Yes, and I like what Cato's doing. It looks like he's trying to work the body here in the last few seconds. Maybe he's trying to slay Coughran down. Coughran's obviously the aggressor here.
He is setting the pace, but Cato landing some good body punches, working inside as we come to the end of round one. Round two coming up. Here we go, round two of our pro debut fight of the night. Both these fighters come straight to the center of the ring and start exchanging punches. Vincent Cato in the blue trunks with white stripe fighting out of the red corner. J.R. Coughran in the blue trunks with gray trim fighting out of the blue corner.
Yeah, with Cato working that body now, Coughran needs to be aware of overextending himself. He's throwing 2 or 3 punches at a time, which is good, but a lot of times you can get overextended, and it looks like Cato's searching for that body.
Well, Cato landed a really good uppercut on the inside to the body.
Good jab there by Cato, trying to stay outside.
I think Cato's really starting to find his range, starting to work his jab, keep it in the face of J.R. Coughran to keep him off balance. But Coughran's one tough dude.
Yes, he is, and he's in here to fight for sure. He's mixing it up.
Do you think he's confusing Cato at all with switching back from right hand to southpaw?
Perhaps. I felt like Cato wasn't as active as maybe he should have been in the first round. Coughran was bringing the fight to him, but
good right hand. And once again, Coughran very effectively working his way on the inside, threw 3 jabs upstairs. By the time he got in, that overhand right was coming, caught Cato right on the left side of the head, and you could see the sweat fly under the ring lights when that landed. Nice left hook to the body by Coughran coming in as the two fighters tie up on the ropes. Referee Gary Ritter breaking them apart. And still at this point, although Cato is doing better, Coughran is dictating the pace of the fight and really pressing the action.
Yes, he is, and he's he's doing quite a bit of switching back and forth from southpaw to orthodox, and I think that's obviously going to throw Cato off a little bit. But if Cato can catch him switching from southpaw to orthodox or vice versa, he could probably maybe set him down.
Coughran's head movement is really good, very effective at slipping punches as he works his way inside. And as the two trade rights to the body in the clinch, started to notice for the first time there's a stream of blood coming from the nose of J.R. Coughran.
Great left hook by Coughran there.
He lands a few more like that.
Yep, if he would have followed up, that could have done some damage.
I was going to say that nose won't be a problem. I don't think the nose is broken. I think it's just a little blood smeared on there. But certainly, good lunging left hook as he came inside against Cato. It's really impressive the way Coughran is able to work his way inside. Very even round 2 as we go to break. Round 3 coming up.
Right.
Here we go, round 3 of a scheduled 4-round bout. These two fighters making their pro debuts. Vincent Cato fighting out of the red corner. He is in the blue trunks with the white stripe. Fighting out of the blue corner, his opponent J.R. Coughran, with the blue trunks and gray trim. These two are really effectively working on each other's bodies, which is something you generally don't see in fighters earlier in the career.
True.
Very smart tactic. Darren Humphrey, former heavyweight champion of Oklahoma, here at ringside. Round 1, round 2, both pretty close. What'd you think? How did you score them?
I think I don't know. I'd probably give the edge to Coughran those first 2 rounds just because of his activity. He's bringing the fight to Cato. If Cato can work that jab and stay on the outside, maybe change the tide of the fight these last couple of rounds, maybe he can make something happen. We got 2 long rounds to go and a pro debut.
Yeah, 2 guys who aren't used to going 4 rounds necessarily. But Coughran is extremely impressive on how he can work his way in and get to that body despite the superior height and reach of Cato.
I agree. He's got some great foot movement.
Good foot movement. We were talking about how Coughran is very effective at changing levels as he works his way in. Explain how he's able to do that so effectively.
Well, it's because he's obviously the shorter guy, and he's using his legs. He looks like a former wrestler, so he's used to using his legs, and I think he's kind of stepping in and.
Big right uppercut.
Yes, it was.
As Cato came in, jolting the head back of Coughran, very smartly tying up.
And as I was saying, Coughran's kind of, I don't want to say jumping in, but he's coming in pretty hard, and that's something that Cato did, was he caught him coming in.
And not for the first time in this round. At the very beginning of the round, there he goes again. Cato that time catching Coughran with a straight left hand as he came in. He did the same thing, catching him with the straight right hand at the beginning of the round. Is it possible that Cato is figured out the timing of Coughran and is now going to catch him coming in?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think Cato has that longer reach, so Coughran's figured out that if he can get inside that and jump in and land those great left hooks to the body and left hooks to the head like he is, he's doing a real good job.
And when you're a pressure fighter like Coughran, a volume puncher who comes in hard and heavy, what does it do to your confidence when you start getting tagged each time you rush in?
Well, I think that just comes along with it. He's that kind of fighter, and that's probably what he experiences in most fights, getting hit, maybe coming in. It's once he gets inside, what's he going to do?
This is a great bout for pro debut. Fourth and final round coming up next. Welcome back to Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Tonight's fight's brought to you by HD Boxing. This is the fourth and final round. Both these guys making their pro debut, and I have got to say, this has been a really, really impressive fight for two guys who are making their first entrance into the pro scene. Darren Humphrey joining us ringside. Darren, another tough round to score, round 3.
Yes, it was, and I think maybe this.
What'd you think? Who'd you score it for?
Well, I probably maybe give it to Coughran again. I think he's the aggressor. He's landing some heavier punches, and I think that just is going to be more important in a fight like this. You know, they're trading back and forth. It's who lands the heavier ones, and who's more aggressive. Great jab by Coughran.
There's a nasty little cut under the left eye of J.R. Coughran. Obviously, it's, good 1-2 as he came rushing in. I really think Cato has figured Coughran out. The problem is Coughran is so strong and so persistent that he keeps working his way inside. Referee warning Coughran for throwing a back fist, coming in with that combination, perhaps a gut reaction from his MMA experience. Not allowed in boxing, of course.
Nope, sure looked like it.
Break. Back up.
I'm impressed, though. Coughran looks really good as far as his boxing ability coming from the MMA scene over here to boxing.
Extremely impressive. I'll tell you what else is impressive about this fight is the pace. These guys have been throwing hard shots nonstop for 4 rounds. You know,
Yes,
you
they
think,
have.
and another good 1-2 landed by Cato. As Coughran was coming in, Coughran shakes his head, smiles a little bit at Cato. That usually means it hurt a lot more than he wants him to know. That cut opening up a little bit more. It's underneath the eye.
Yep, Coughran can't get lazy here. He's been moving the whole fight, moving his head back and forth, and looks like he's kind of standing straight up and moving straight in and straight back, and Cato can land a good punch. He knows Coughran's coming back.
This is a very close fight. I think if Coughran can go the distance, he'll get the decision. But I think if this were a 6-round fight, I'm not so sure, because I think Cato is really figuring him out as each minute goes by. He keeps catching him with harder and harder shots and combinations, not just one shot, like right there when he's coming in.
Yep, and if you can tell Coughran's getting a little bit tired, he's trying to throw that one heavy haymaker instead of throwing the combinations that we saw in the previous 3 rounds.
Well, if he wasn't tired, I'd be floored. This has been a heck of a pace as these two guys slug it out again as we come to a close of round 4. What a great pro debut for both these guys, Vincent Cato and J.R. Coughran.
Boxing fans that are here as well. It was a great fight.
Both going the distance 4 full rounds in their pro debut. The judges are going to tally up the scorecard and we'll have the results. Coming up, stay with us. Welcome back to Firelake Arena. The judges have tallied up their scorecards. Let's send it up to Gerald Whalen in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout goes to the scorecards. Judge Sarah Atwood scores the bout 37-39, Coughran. Judge Mike Bowers scores the bout 39-37, Cato. And Judge Gary Ritter scores the bout 38-38, draw. This bout ends in a split draw.
Holy cow. It's that's a draw is always a disappointing decision for the crowd, but in this fight, I can certainly see it, Darren.
Yeah, it's disappointing for two pro debuters as well. I don't know. I feel like Coughran probably won that fight. I felt like he was the aggressor, landed the heavier punches. I do feel like Cato was starting to figure him out there towards the end, but
yeah, of course, every judge judges fights differently.
Yep.
I'm not a professional judge, but when I watch fights, I tend to award more points to aggressiveness.
Sure.
Judges apparently not doing that, but we have many more great fights coming up, including our main event. Stay with us.